Turn on that radio and back here. The cops ain't likely to catch up with us, not tonight. So we can all be quiet and peaceable and listen to the music.
This episode of Auto Dealer Live is brought to you by TrueCar.
What's up? What's up, Cribs?
Hey, Mr. Dave, what's going on, brother?
Oh, man, doing wonderful. It's just you and I today, man. Tommy Elwell's in the sales room. We're kicking off our November month, and he wanted to be in there. He has a couple of agreements coming back and said, hey, would you guys mind if I sit it out today? And we said, we got this.
What's up? What's up, Cribs?
Yeah.
Hey, I hear an echo in my ears.
Yeah.
What's
I
up?
hear the
Where's that coming from? All right. Well, I thought for sure you'd handle all this stuff for me, Lou. I didn't know I'd be getting, I didn't know if I had to produce the show too. What's up, Lou? On camera, making a.
There we go. Camera reference.
So you're gonna go ahead while you're here and take that screen
I might
off.
as well, you know.
Why don't you, since it wasn't up there?
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead.
I was just going to
You
say,
talk.
for those of you who hear Lou all the time but don't necessarily see him, here he is, Mr. Lou Torres, our producer.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
I can't hear Cribs in my ears either.
I'm gonna fix that now.
All right,
I'm
man.
trying to fix this.
What we do, in case you're just tuning in, is we actually like to. We have this game called it's not really an intro. It's more of a game in the beginning of the show that says, Lou hides a bunch of like screw ups, and then Cribs and I get points. And whichever one of us uncovered the most screw ups within the intro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's kind of like a Where's Waldo, right? It's like
Yes.
it's like Lou didn't fix the screen. I got that one's a point for me. And then
There you go.
right?
There you go.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
There you go.
Let me see if I can find something else. Thanks, Lou.
Go ahead, see if you can find something. I can't hear you. I would love. Hold on, say it again. Hold on.
What's that?
I'm having to watch
Can
your
you
lips.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can see you. Yes, no, I can hear you now.
Hey, welcome to Auto Dealer Live, by the way, the show where dealers go. We're glad you're watching. Make sure that you like and share the show, as well as comment. We're going to be reading your comments throughout the show. You can call in to our studio as well if you want to talk or have a question for our guest. But we're actually going to be monitoring the social media. So we
see how this works.
Yeah.
I'll be like, my ADD's already. I'm typing. I'm not even paying attention.
We have as you can see, we're experimenting with a new way to monitor, and Dave will be checking out your comments as we go. We have them on a screen in front of us also, so I'll try to
But the problem
capture
is,
them.
let's explain to the guest. I mean, the problem
Yep.
is, it's not that obviously this isn't new. I mean, this is
Right, yeah.
this is actually a
It's
step
the
back.
latest technology staring at our laptop.
It's just really it gives you and I control. We have people tell us a lot on the show, man, you didn't read my comment or you didn't get to it, and it's very difficult when we had literally. Kim and a couple of people in marketing in here typing on the teleprompter, and it just makes it easier if you and I can read the comments live, and and then maybe catch a comment that I look back sometimes on the comments and say, man, I would have loved to have read that, but it's just that we didn't get it up on the screen, and so now you and I get to see it. That's all.
Yeah.
So what's up, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good, Dave. We're kicking off November. We're close to the end of the year. We're kind of closing out. You guys had
I can't believe that, by the way.
I know, it's crazy. And you guys had a great month. I've
Yes.
actually heard some good things from October with some of the dealers, so I hope that that's a good sign for the next 60 days.
Yeah, and our training division here at IPD, our marketing division, our marketing, our digital mail and what have you, we crushed it, probably $1 million+ this month in business there. But the training division, which is fairly new within the last year, launched officially. We killed it. Mark Canterbury is doing a phenomenal job.
Yes, he is.
I think they did close to $100,000 in training business in this month, and I mean,
Nice.
that's really big for a brand new division. Anyway, so kudos to those guys over there, and so let's talk about, man. We have Michelle Burgess joined us. Bill Hav, what's up? Lou Torres, John Gillis. John Gillis, is that John Gillis from Friendly Kia? I hope it is. John Gillis, Jason Girdner, Justin Bass, Terrell Lake. What's up, Terrell? Was on the show last week. Gary Pollard, Serial Hustlers in the house. You said it, baby. You said it. Listen, we want to take your calls today as well. We've got a great panel.
Kevin Reed.
Huh?
Go ahead. I
Go
was
ahead.
just saying, Kevin Reed.
Kevin Reed. And this is you know how me, man. I got my ADD has ADD, and I think it just had a baby.
Right.
The ADD the third. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Hey, you want to talk about something different?
huh? What were we talking? Were we talking? Was I even sitting here? Hey, so we're here on the show, and what is it about today? It's episode 297. That's what it's about.
I know we're closing in on the big 300,
That's right.
brother.
Hey, let's talk about next week for a second. I'm excited. I want to announce the guests we have on next week before we bring our panel on today. We're going to bring them on in 3 minutes. Every quarter at least. We try to do it once every other month, but we want to make it special. We want to make it unique and different, and we like to bring on the top and the cream of the crop, really dealers that are not only owners of stores, but are moving and shaking. And next week, I am so excited about who we have on. We have on for a Great American, let's call it that, right? Great American Automotive Panel, right? All right, so listen, if you're in Canada, if you're listening overseas, no offense, it's the Great American Automotive Panel, and it's U.S. Marine. What an appropriate name, right, for a dealer who's going to be on the panel, U.S. Marine.
Yeah, you have to clarify that that's an individual's actual name.
Yes, we do not have the branch of the service.
Right.
The Marines are not going to be on next week, but we have U.S. Marine. We'll let him talk about the name. Obviously, I'm sure he's been asked about it and has told the story all his life.
It makes me want to change my name, by the way. I want my name now to be like Microsoft or Boeing.
Right.
Or, something
Fredericks
like that.
of Hollywood or something.
Yeah, okay.
So U.S. Marine is going to be on. He is the owner of Sutherland Nissan in Fort Pierce and Vero, and also Orlando Nissan. He's part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Then we have John Marazzi, the owner of Sun Toyota and Brandon Honda. He's part of the Morgan Automotive Group here. And we have Jesse Peterson, which is the president of the Edie Automotive Group in the Dakotas. We have Bill Feinstein, the managing partner of Planet Honda. Then we have Jeff Daniels. Jeff is the owner of the Toyota, Kia, and of Muncie up in Indiana. So we have just an incredible group of principals coming on next week. We have Amy Fiera on. Amy Fiera is the partner of talent acquisition for Asbury Automotive, and she's going to be on. So she's going to be the only girl on, but she said, I'm used to being the only girl with a group of guys. She said, I will own it. That's what she said.
There we go. Hey.
And then, not only that, but she is she's part of the talent acquisition and recruiting for Asbury. So very, very sharp car person, been in the business for over a decade and a half or so, and started most of her business, most of that time was on the blacktop in every management position. So Amy's going to be on as well. So I think she's going to help us interview these guys and kind of get down to the skinny of it. So
Yeah,
excited
absolutely.
for next week.
Yeah, that's going to be super cool. I mean, top dealers from all over the country on the Great American Auto Panel of dealer principals and owners. And, every time we have a show like that, Dave, there are tons of dealers tuning in, because, of course, it's being the show where dealers go, when you have that kind of lineup,
Yeah.
it's like all the dealers want to tune in and see, hey, what can I pick up from this dealer because they're killing it.
Not only that, some of you say that we have a good audience today, and we had 2 weeks ago we had a great show, a lot of viewers for Millennial, and then last week we kind of cupped on that a little bit, and and brought that together. But you go, hey, well, man, this is dealers, and this is a show, and I'm just going to kind of skip it or whatever. But I'm going to encourage you that if you're in the business and you go, I'm in sales, or hey, I'm a marketing person, or I'm an internet manager, whatever. I don't really want to listen to a bunch of dealers. I'm going to encourage you. Number one, these are cutting edge dealers that are moving and shaking and doing some things that I would say get your dealer to listen, or arm yourself with information to go to your dealer on, because they are implementing strategies that are killing it right now in the modern, quote unquote, modern dealership era. Yes. Number two, I would tell you that this would be an opportunity for you that are on the blacktop, maybe wanting to approach your dealer or see some change, and you'd love to champion that change. I would use this as an opportunity to question and ask and say, hey, how can I approach my dealer? Listen, you're doing this, and I love what you're doing. If I lived where your store is, I would work for you, right? So how can I do this with my store? And I think that those are two great opportunities that you don't want to pass up on. So I'm looking forward to next week's Great American Automotive Panel. But Dave,
yes,
we got a whole week, and right now we're in episode 297, and we have an amazing panel. What is this show about today, and where can you fit in? Your comments are coming in already. So here's what I want to do. I want to encourage you to get on Facebook. You are. I want to encourage you to put your questions, your comments on the screen. We're going to read them, okay? We have a great guest today. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the latest, the greatest. We're going to talk about what's going on in the auto business. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's it. This is Auto Talk right here.
Yeah. What's relevant right now in your store? What do you want to ask the guests?
What do you care about?
Yeah, and we've got great representation
Mm-hmm.
because we have guests that have different expertise as we walk through this panel of this list of names in this panel. It's amazing.
I think Sean's outnumbered today. What do you think?
I think
Sean
so,
Hayes
too.
is the only
it's gonna
man
be a little,
on the panel.
Little unbalanced,
That's right. Sean, let's see if Sean
Pressure's on you,
this
Sean.
week's going to do what Amy's going to do next week.
right?
Amy was like, I got this. Sean might be scared. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I'm going to confess I'd be scared.
I'd be
but,
scared.
Hey,
Gail and Desiree and Mabel, let me tell you something. Sean's going to have a notepad. What do you think? Nah, Sean's going to.
that's going to be fun.
All right, hey, we're going to be back in 60 seconds. We're going to bring our episode 297 panel on. We want your comments. We're going to read them when we come back, and we're going to get you guys involved. The number's on the screen. Get into the queue right now. If you want to get on the air, we want to bring you on and get you guys in the mix as well. We'll be right back in 60 seconds for Auto Dealer Live.
Hi, I'm Chip Perry. The Pledge was and is an action plan designed to address head-on the concerns that many of you told me about right after I took this job. Thus far, our Dealer Pledge has been aimed at fixing the major pain points that you told us about related to our product, our customer service, and our consumer advertising. I'd like to reiterate that our Dealer Pledge is our ongoing commitment to you, our dealer customers, and we will continue to work hard to improve our service to you.
Hey, Dave Cripps here, Serial Sales Pro Trainer, talking about our upcoming Internet BDC Bootcamp. Look, it's no secret that every dealer is focused in this area. Arguably, our best leads are coming in either through internet, through outbound phone calls, or most importantly, that inbound call that's arguably now the best up that we have. Now, when we have ups on our showroom floor, we're all over them when it comes to process and what we're doing, and we see what's happening. But oftentimes in the internet, it's overlooked, and here's where we are missing opportunities, and this is really the new playground, if you will, for process and interaction with customers. So join us for our BDC Bootcamp, where we're not only going to talk about selling the appointment rather than the car, but more importantly, selling the appointment that sticks, that shows. Join myself, John Marazzi, managing partner of Brandon Honda Sun Toyota, a history of taking dealerships to a whole new crazy level, and others at our Serial Sales Pro Bootcamp, Internet BDC, coming up soon. Thanks.
All right, we're back. What's up? We're going to be bringing our panel on right now. We have Sean Hayes, sales and leasing consultant of Hyundai of St. Augustine. We have Mabel Peralta. How come I said that wrong? I jacked it up. I'm sorry, Mabel. Sales and leasing consultant at Volvo Cars Glen Cove. We have Gail T. Rubenstein, founder and CEO of I Am Retail Resilient. We have Desiree Lavelle, sales associate, internet sales at Steve Landers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep. That's in Arkansas, isn't it? I believe that's in Arkansas. I want to ask Desiree that.
In the US.
It's in the U.S. It's in the U.S., yes. So we're going to go, without further ado, we're going to bring our guest on. Cribs, I'm going to throw it to you. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. We're looking forward to some great conversation. Once again, your comments are coming in on Facebook. I'm going to scour through this while you're talking.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to get some
Absolutely.
questions from our guests.
So, hey, everyone, welcome to the show. And I'm going to go right to Gail Rubenstein. And Gail, we were talking just before the show, and you were, talking about the fact that you were GSM for years in the car business. And I was trying to mathematically figure that out because I saw you on the camera. I'm like, wait a second. This young lady's like 22 years old. How was she a GSM for years? So, apparently you just look a lot younger than you are. So congratulations for that. But
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Gail, one of the things that you're sharing with dealers now, and this is a hot thing right now in the market, is figuring out how dealerships should not only behave on social media, but also how to make the most out of social media. And specifically, you're saying, I think you were talking about earlier, the fact that you're getting so much demand when it comes to figuring out Facebook ads and funnel ads for the dealership. Maybe talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, so about 6 months ago, I started playing around with Facebook sponsored ads. And there's actually 7 different ads that you can run on the Facebook platform. There's, I won't get into it in super detail, but like ads and lead ads and all these, different ones that you can try. And you can put a customer through what's called a click-through funnel, where they have a phenomenal car buying experience, and they obtain information from car dealerships that actually helps them purchase a car in terms of the process. And I've had huge success. I literally have only been in business for about a month and a half, and car dealerships are eating it up. There's huge demand for it right now. Because customers are, Facebook is the #1 website actually worldwide. Statistica research has actually proven that it is. And 81% of the U.S. population is actually on Facebook, which is unreal.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. In fact, the attention, it's not like it just formed yesterday, but for whatever reason, there seems to be a real shift by just everyone that's really focusing now heavily on Facebook, and everyone's trying to figure it out quickly so they can kind of, take advantage of it. So let's go over to Sean Hayes real quick. Sean,
I got something to say before you ask
go
Sean a
ahead,
question
go
real quick.
ahead,
I want to
go
see
ahead.
what this does here real quick. Sean's got a huge tribe following, right? If you're watching this show and you love Sean Hayes, I want to see like the likes, the loves, all the little, whatever the little deals are, man. Just start blowing those things up. Look at that.
It looks
That's
like a waterfall.
Looks like a
going across
waterfall.
the screen.
Sean,
Let's do
if you don't mind, man,
guys, let's do it.
all right, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go
Because I
ahead,
had a question for Sean. Sean, let me ask you this, man. You got this tribe of people in the car business that are following you. And here's my question, man. Because this is where it's not about you. It's about what you are doing, the success you're achieving, what your customers feel. And that's really what it's about. Why do you think that's the case if you had to pin it down into really one thing? What are you doing, man, that's causing the car people in the U.S. to follow you and say, hey, I want to know what Sean's doing?
Well, thanks for having me on, guys, and unite to all the sales hustlers out there. But what I'll say, and the reason I think people are following is because there's 3 reasons. A, I'm passionate. Second, I'm authentic. And number 3, I give to others before I take. And I think if you can do those 3 things to your customers and to other people, they generally will follow you.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and it's funny, Sean, I'm looking at the background, and, we've had you on the show before, and it looks like you have your own office, but your office looks like it's set up for, like it's your own dealership right there in that office, and you're in sales, but it looks like you could do anything. You're like the Batman of car salesmen.
Well, Batman would be cool. Yeah, I like Batman's gadgets and stuff. But actually, I'm in the finance office right now, so I could have some privacy. But my office out there, I sit with the other guys out there, but I kind of decorate my office to make it look, homey. I think that's very important. I want to put my accolades up on the wall. I want to put, anything that people see you, and it promotes, like trust. Anytime that a person can walk in the dealership and see what you're talking about, or you're skilled at your craft, it definitely will help.
Yeah, I think that's important, Dave. By the way,
Yeah,
because and that opportunity seems to be dwindling a little bit, because oftentimes now in the modern showrooms, they're simply just desk out in the showrooms. But when you have that individual office in that space, it's important to kind of not. when I say stage it, I don't mean like stage it corny, but like to set up basically silent selling tools. But
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
But
We
go
have a
ahead.
caller in. I want to bring someone in before we bring our guest on. We have a caller with a question. We have Dominic Box at Frank Fletcher Superstore, I believe, on the line. Is that right, Lou? Okay, Dominic, are you with us? Dominic,
Yeah, hey guys, can you hear me?
we can hear you. How's it going, my friend?
Awesome. Well, as I told the screener on the line, man, I just got to give it up to Sean Hayes. This Sales Hustlers group that he's put together is not only an environment where I'm able to learn and feel comfortable trying out different things, because I'm somebody who's active on social media and video, but since I started following Sean, I'm selling, I mean, no joke, probably 60 to 75% of my sales are coming directly from the social media outreach that I'm using. And I'm one of the people that was lucky enough to go out to the Sales Hustlers Live event in Orlando and actually just close my first car deal of the month using a technique that I learned from there. So if I had to do two things, the first would be to give Sean, not, he's not a god, but man, is he somebody that I think so many of us look up to, and it's incredible the impact that he has, not on me just as a person, but dealership wide and then industry wide as a whole. And second of all, I just want to know, Sean, where do you get your inspiration from? Because I mean, I can make a great video once or twice a week by my standards, but every day you're pumping out content that is changing lives. And I mean, just where is this something that you just come up with? Do you have something planned out every day? Kind of give us what's your method of getting this content out that's so great and valuable?
Thank you very much, Dominic.
Well,
Go ahead, Sean.
Thanks a lot, buddy. That was very heartfelt, and it means a lot. It really does.
Yeah.
I give all the glory to God. I follow, I'm a Christian now, changed my life. But I spend time every morning in just quietness. I get up at 4 o'clock every morning. Every morning, feet hit the floor, man. Passionate to change lives, passionate to sell cars, passionate to move myself forward in the world. But I think it's very important at 4 o'clock to get up. I have no wife up yet. I have no kids up yet. I have no noise in the house. I can just sit there with my thoughts, and I can then formulate. I've been a salesman for 10 and a half years in the car business. I know all the problems. I know all the things we deal with. I'm still a car salesman in the car business. So I think that helps a lot, that I deal with these things on a daily basis just like you. So it's easy for me to make a video. It's easy. Now, after 8 months of doing a video every day, you start really having to push the envelope of content. But that allows me to be more creative, which is crazy. I just think outside the box, Dom. I say, what would I want to hear every day?
Right.
And there's some great people that I've filled my mind with, like Eric Thomas and Grant Cardone, and some of these guys. They all give me something different. Ryan Stewman. All these guys give me a little bit different every day to motivate me.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I wanted to thank you very much. Shout out to Sean. My customers are coming out of the box, and it's directly because of the impact you've had on me and my career. So sales hustlers that are listening, stay with it. Join the movement. Let's get it done. It's Dom Does Cars. Have a great show, guys.
All right. Thank you, Dominic. Thanks for calling. I want to say we're going to bring Desiree and Mabel into the conversation as well. And thank you, Dominic, for calling. Sean, what an awesome answer there. I know how Sean feels too. Being someone who does videos every day, it's interesting because you don't want to do them sometime. I mean, if somebody sits there and tells you, when you're putting content out every day, that you do it because you feel it every day. Someone asked me, our director of training and development, Mark Canterbury, that's here, had a friend that follows me on Facebook and said, "Hey, you work with Dave. Is he that way every day?" And Mark goes, "Yeah." But I mean, here's the secret to that. I mean, I'm human, right? I mean, Sean, you're human, and and the deal is you don't feel that way every day. But here's the thing I think everyone needs to understand, I don't know, if you don't feel that that way every day, does it change the fact that you still have to be productive today? And I think that's really the thing. And whether you feel it or not, feeling is not really what it's predicated on. And sometimes I found that when I get up, I remember one time specifically, the video crew came in and said, "Hey, it's time for your word of the day." And I told them to get out of there. I'm like, "I don't want to do it today. Guys, right now, I just don't want to do this." And I sat there and they go, "You have to." And you know what? I stood up and I looked back at my coffee cups that were on my wall. And I thought about the fact that I just didn't feel it that day. And all of a sudden, man, the thought of what do you do to a cup? You fill it, right? And when it's full, it overflows. And I just felt like,
That's the cool thing, David.
My cup's not full today.
That's the cool thing. That was a video right there that you just did. That's how cool. You were inspired by not wanting to do it, and it probably turned into an amazing video for you.
Yeah, I got comment. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's great," and I'm like, "Man, that was the one I didn't want to do," you know. But anyway, so Sean, thank you for that answer, my friend. That's I think you just touched a lot of people just by the fact that you related to them, and obviously Dominic was touched and moved by what you do on a daily basis. So, man, great job there, Cribs. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I was just thinking as you were talking about that, like, I know personally that you do get up every day and you do the videos when you come into the office, and yes, not every day do you necessarily feel like you want to do them, but the cool thing is once you do them, you can almost feel like it at that point because you just motivated yourself.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
motivate yourself.
Half the time when you're talking, you're kind of preaching to yourself in a sense.
Absolutely.
So let's go to Desiree Lavelle. Desiree, how you doing?
Hey, thank you so much for having me on here. I really appreciate it. I can relate kind of on that level. When you work in and out and have to have videos and come up with great content, it's kind of hard to be authentic. And with Northwest Arkansas being their social media director, we decided to go a route to make a difference and be the difference and like do kind of different things. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. And that was really inspiring, but like you said, it gets kind of daunting sometimes because the inspiration, you have to find that, and you want to be authentic. You don't want to be just doing something to do something. It's great to have consistency, and I couldn't agree more with being authentic, being passionate about what you have and your content, and having integrity too. But it is I just came back from working for Steve Landers, and I've joined McClarty Group, and they have 25 dealerships around. So I had to take a break. I had to check out and kind of recharge. So it is social media has such a great and positive impact and can really build your business, but it also can be very being consistent every day, having a video, because there's a lot of work and production that goes into that. So I think it's okay to take breaks too.
Absolutely. Desiree, you worked with Ivan over there, correct? Was it Ivan store?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so
sir.
we did some business with him. I mean, that's a busy store. I mean, for a Southwest Business Center, Chrysler store, Landers is, a very aggressive, very, very aggressive store. Let me ask you this question, knowing those guys, and they're car guys. I mean, Ivan's they're car guys, they're like, they're into, that's their deal. How difficult, because you're a social media person as well, and you believe in this. How challenging, because you're speaking to an audience right now that's listening, that's in this business, that some of them are successful at doing this, and some of them are trying to get their dealership to look this way. And I know we have a caller, and we're going to get to AJ in a minute as well, that called in. But let me ask you this. How difficult is it, in your opinion, to get somebody that's moving 1,000 miles an hour, someone like an Ivan, to look and go, hey, I've got the ability, if we can look at something different, to add to what we're doing, I can bring some additional units in. I can help us reach a different audience. How difficult is it sometimes to really break through? And then how important do you think it is for someone in a position of a GM or owner to really embrace that and maybe speak to that for a second? Because I know who you work for, and I know the industry you're in, or the area.
Okay, well, let me correct you just a little bit, because I don't work for Ivan anymore, and the biggest impact was in Northwest Arkansas. I worked for Jared Newford, who is the platform head of Landers, all of the dealerships.
Okay.
So I just want to clarify. But yes, for Ivan or any GM that has huge volumes and wants to maximize his money, it is a little bit difficult. But if you just show we're in a numbers business. You show, hey, it's 2.1 billion monthly Facebook users in just 2017 June, and it's an increase 17%. You have to look at those numbers. The business that is going to take place is going to happen in Messenger. I mean, Facebook didn't invest millions and millions of dollars to make Messenger what it is.
Right.
So right there on their platform now, they use Facebook, and they run ads to, hey, call this number or instant message us, and we can give you that information on that vehicle. And it's a very intimate transaction that can take place inside of Messenger. So if you show them that you're going to maximize what you're going to invest social media wise and do it smart and do it consistently, it comes out in numbers. Those internet numbers translate into sales. So
awesome.
I don't think it's really difficult to show people the impact of Facebook if you go to statistics and correlate it. I think the hard part is doing it effectively and still not coming off as necessarily a business. You know, it's not always about selling. I think Everett does an excellent job of bringing kind of like the home feeling and doing charity work and not doing it for that purpose. When you really want to make a difference, you can't hide it. You can see it in the work that they do. Like in Northwest Arkansas, for example, we had a campaign that we ran on Facebook, and we could chart that by organic views and then chart it by paid views. And anytime we did something that was really heartfelt and emotional, it always had a better impact. And I think that translated into better interaction.
Awesome.
But for commerce to take place in social media, I really think the key is going to be in marketplace or in instant message.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you,
thank
Desiree. Thank you so much.
I want to bring Mabel on here,
Thank
but we
you.
have two callers, two dealers that are on hold here. Can we bring one of them on? I think AJ was on first.
Absolutely.
Lou? Okay, so let's bring AJ Anderson with Bill Flick Ford on first. AJ, are you with us?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
Hey, thank you for calling
Yes,
in.
it's
And thank you for
Yes,
calling.
sir. It's actually Bill Fick, F-I-C-K Ford. It's actually in Huntsville, Texas. I was trying to get on the line when Sean was on.
He's still on.
Because the guy he's a master. Oh, he is still there. Okay.
Yes.
I'm on here, buddy.
All right, man. Just want to let you all know that all the information that was given from the comments to the call-ins is all truth. I just came from Orlando as well, and this guy is nothing but pure motivation. I've been listening to him now for about 3-4 months, and ever since I have, my life has changed. And I just want to give a shout out to Sean Hayes because he gives before he cares. I mean, he gives before he takes, rather.
Come on.
And he's just real, 100% real and authentic, and that's why I'm here and calling, and I'm sticking up for the man.
I appreciate
Man, that's
that.
awesome, brother. Thank you so much for calling in, and thank you so much, man. Sean,
thank you.
that's got to make you feel good, Sean. That's got to make you feel good, man. You're making an impact, brother, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about, man.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of speechless and honored, actually.
Yeah, Sean's turning red if he's not on the camera. Okay, so we have another caller on the line, Lou.
Yeah, Larry.
Okay, let's bring in Larry. We've got let me make sure that I get this right. Larry Molinette with Billion Toyota of Sioux Falls. Larry, you with us?
Got Larry on? Okay, so we'll come back to Larry in a minute. We'll go to Mabel.
Yeah, let's go to Mabel. Mabel, it's time. Sorry that it's taken so
Yep,
long
I'm
to
here.
get to you, but let's go to Mabel real quick.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, Larry. All right, we've got our caller on the line, Larry. Just a moment, Mabel, but Larry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Larry.
You here? All right, hi guys.
Hey.
I just wanted to let you know.
Go
Hi
ahead.
guys, I just wanted to let you know that I've been listening to Sean Hayes also for about 4 months, and I have my management listen to him. I have my management listen to him, and there's nobody that's more motivational than Sean Hayes. He isn't charging any money for it. He just does it, just because. He's real. It's not like he sells 150 cars a month.
Yeah.
And he's a genuine guy. He's selling 20 to 30 cars just like everybody else. And, shout out to Sean Hayes for everything he's doing.
Nice.
He's motivating people that weren't motivated. There was nobody in the business before to motivate anybody unless you paid for it. And Sean Hayes does it for free, man. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it.
thank
Thank
you,
you very much, Larry.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Mabel, we had a comment come in here from Brad Paschal that said, we'll let you comment, Mabel, on anything you've heard because there's been a lot of content here, and I want to get back to all of our guests here. But Brad Paschal on Facebook said, cause marketing, and he's speaking like cause, not cuz. Cause marketing works even better when you can go live from the charities or nonprofits. Social media is easy to digest when they're sharing instead of the dealership. Mabel, do you have an opinion on this and really anything that we've discussed here? Because I know that you are doing a bang-up job. Obviously, you're everywhere. Your smile's contagious. You light. I think you light up a screen when you come on, and so talk a little bit about what that's done for you at Volvo Cars of Glen Cove.
Well, as of today, I actually just got promoted. I am the internet manager now.
Yeah, I heard that. Woo, come on.
me.
Nice.
I mean, I
That's
do,
awesome.
Thank you. In regards to the cause, like a cause marketing, definitely, I think dealerships need to do that because it makes you more, it gives you a human touch, you know what I mean? When you align yourself with a local charity or any charity whatsoever, it really kind of sets you apart. You know, you're not just selling cars, you're not just trying to make money, you actually have a heart. Not saying that dealerships don't, but, you know, there is that misconception that car dealerships are just cold and, you know, we're a numbers game, we just want to push metal. In reality, we're not. So if you're building relationships with your customers, why not extend it to the local community? You know, put a car out to the library. I don't know, offer free rides during prom night for kids that may be drinking or not. Things like that, you know. Definitely now with my new role, I want to do a little bit more organic reach within the community. But our marketing team does such a great job that I think that part's going to be a little easier for me. But yeah, it's interesting. You know, my brand is, we're kind of like the Phoenix Rising right now, and a lot of people don't look at us yet as high end, but we are. And to day in and day out be Volvo for life, sometimes it's a little much, you know, because not everyone gets it, and they're like, really, Volvo? And I'm like, yeah. And then I show them my tattoo, and I'm like, I'm stuck. Like, that's it. There's nowhere else I can go.
That's somebody just commented and said you got Volvo locked down. So that's pretty big. That's a big deal. Locking a make down.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, you know, I get comments a day in and day out from customers, from fans. You know, my 2005 Volvo. This is what's happening. Or I'm considering buying a car. What should I do? And I give them honest opinions. I'm on my third Volvo, so you know I speak from experience, especially when I reach out to customers and I see that they're into a car that I currently have.
Yeah.
And I let them know, like, this is the car. This is why I love it. And every person that I've spoken to since I've been at the store, customer-wise, has told me we've never met a salesperson like you.
That's good.
We've never met someone that's so enthusiastic that you know we weren't even considering buying a Volvo, but now we feel like we have to buy one. And that's great because my end goal is to make sure that everyone I touch appreciates the brand, because we hear a lot of things. We don't really do diligence research-wise, and I just want to always set the record straight with everyone when it comes to this brand, because I tell my coworkers, the main thing for me is the brand, the second thing is the dealership, and the third thing is me. So
come on.
Brand, dealership, myself.
Cribs, what if we did this going back around, starting with Gail? What if we asked this, because it seems the comments that are coming in, there's a lot of questions on, hey, you know, what do you suggest I do? How do I do this? What do I do? What if we went through our guests, asked them, hey, give us a tip. We're talking about, obviously this is kind of turned in how to market myself online, how to take my dealership, you know, social. How about we go through and say, give our listeners, give your peers, your colleagues, those that are out there listening, a tip maybe that they can run with to help them.
I think that's a great suggestion. Just now on social media, Gary Pollard, how big do you feel like branding and personal marketing will be going forward? And as I go around to the guests, I'll also say, Dave, I'm encouraged by what we're seeing, the transition in the car business. You know, it seems like every day we're starting to kind of maybe make a dent into this stereotypical car salesman with fresh faces, fresh perspectives, people that are really making consumers feel a little bit differently. So I give you all kudos for that. But let's go around, and we'll start with Gail. And Gail, let's talk about what are some things that you feel like salespeople, dealers can do marketing-wise to kind of push themselves forward in this present day.
All right. So, I'm glad we're talking about this topic. So, one of the things we teach all of our dealerships to do is be authentic and be themselves. So, I'll give you guys an example. I recently started working with a Nissan dealership, and I asked the general manager, I said, hey, like, before you worked in the car business, did you ever go buy a vehicle? And he's like, yeah, I had to lease a Cavalier in 1996 or something like that. Anyway, He tells me some story about how he went in the dealership and it was a frustrating process, and he couldn't get the right number for his trade, and this whole story. And I said, hey, Andrew, what if you went on your Facebook business page and you actually told your customers the story, like your actual story that you went through, and be authentic and be you, and say, hey, before I was a general manager, I went through this process and it was frustrating. And one of the things you guys can do is download my 10-step process on how to have the best car buying experience ever. And it could literally be, a process to help the customer, like, we're transparent. Step 1, go to our website. Step 2, look at the pricing on our website. Step 3, the pricing includes rebates. Step 4, the manager will meet and greet you when you walk into the showroom. Step 5, and so on and so forth. So I think as long as they're authentic and genuine and, like, tell real stories, because car people have really good hearts, like really good hearts. They're really good people, but sometimes, for some reason, they're portrayed in a totally different image. And the more real they are and the more authentic, the higher their video views are actually, and the higher their Facebook ads are converting.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gail. And
we do have a caller too. Before we have Eddie. Hold on, my phone just went out. Eddie Stefan. Eddie Stefan with Westfield Ford, Illinois. Eddie, are you on?
Yes, I am.
How are you? You know what? Hey, man, you won. I believe. How are you doing? We just connected this past week, I believe, but you were commenting on last week or the week before show, and I've seen you a lot on Facebook here in the last few days. So, thanks for calling in. Do you have a comment or a question?
Yeah, I actually wanted to say to the young lady that just spoke, I really like what she had to say about the general manager story. Made me kind of think about why I got into car sales in the first place. My uncle owns a dealership here in Illinois. I decided to not start my career working for him, but my worst car buying experience was at my own family's dealership. I had a salesman tell me 3 times I couldn't afford a car that I wrote a check for, and it just was the worst taste of buying a car. I wasn't happy driving home. So that just really hit home for me about the authenticity aspect. But the reason I called is I'm also part of that sales hustler movement with Sean Hayes. When I first got into the industry, I was very, very camera shy. But watching Sean be so authentic, give such amazing content, I kind of hit him up on the side and asked him for a couple tips. And, he messaged me back right away. We linked up, we connected, and he kind of helped guided me to be more comfortable and just kind of said, get out of your comfort zone, do it. And I started doing it. And I hated it at first, but now I actually enjoy being in front of the camera. I enjoy being able to, let people know who I am and what I'm about. So I just wanted to say big time props to Sean Hayes. Because my biggest thing being a greepy in the industry is, learning how to brand myself the proper way. So being able to watch you guys, helps me a ton. So I just want to say thank you guys. Sean, you're the man. Sales hustler for life, man.
Nice, man. Thank you very much, Eddie. And you know something, man? How going back to Cribbs' comment, on the industry and how people of quality are coming into the industry at a rapid pace. I mean, if that's a green pea today, we're in good shape. Someone that sounds like that. Hey, a couple of things here too. Subaru Steve Montgomery. What is the best? I'm going to put this question out there. By the way, Nick Vishani said, you're awesome, Mabel. I'm not sure who Nick is, but maybe you do, but he said you're awesome. Subaru Steve Montgomery. Look at that, man. He's got the name of what he sells. He's like, I'm Subaru. I'm going to put it in my freaking Facebook name, right? Subaru Steve Montgomery. He says, question, what is the best community activity that helps, literally just, what's the best community activity? Luke, can you scroll back? Is there any way you can't do it? Can you?
What is the best community activity that helps the community and will generate sales?
Somebody want to answer that question? Something that helps the community best, maybe an activity that you've had experience with, one of you guys that, something in your town and your community that you've involved yourself with that's helped you, get your name out there, maybe brought in sales by serving the community. Is there an idea that one of you guys have done that's worked really well?
There's several areas you can actually go to shelters, like the women's shelter, and provide items. You can call them up and bring them to them. We actually brought water to like the tornado victims, but there's so many things. If you watch the local news and kind of maybe have an in with someone at the news station to let you know what your local stuff happens. Like we had a couple that had a house burn. We provided, like I said, a gentleman that didn't have a bicycle. He had a tricycle, and he had impaired vision, and someone stole his bike, so we bought him a bike. There's so many great things that you can do that you really don't, I mean, it's not necessarily a promotional thing, but you can give back in the community, and I think that when you do that, not only do you get a really great feeling, and you're bettering everybody in the process. You can have the salespeople involved. It's just a great experience. I would suggest anybody that has the opportunity to do that. And yes, you can promote it on Facebook, but it's not even necessary. You know, we used to make videos with no speaking, just music. And showing like a town that had a tornado and us providing the supplies for them. I think anytime that you give back authentically and you're yourself and you're you and you're unique, you're going to win.
Good. That's good word. Good word, Desiree.
I really do.
And
you can't go wrong on that. I mean, what you're basically, you know, if you think about it and you touch the heart of people, I mean, you're not doing it as a. That's the thing. You know, you're not doing it as an advertisement or as a ploy or as a, you know, you're doing it because you care. The byproduct of that is people drive. That's the thing that's so beautiful about this industry. People drive cars, you know, and if they're going to buy a car, wouldn't they rather buy a car from somebody that they see cares? And I think that's really the catch, and that's what I love about what you guys are talking about. It's human, and so that's good, Desiree. That's really, really cool. And
I think anytime you can promote other people or, you know, people that need help, it's always going to help.
That's good.
That's awesome. Can I add to this discussion?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Mabel.
Let's go.
One of the things that my company is doing, and we love this, is I'm a big sister for Big Brother, Big Sister, and I don't necessarily market that out to the public on my page. But one of the things that we do is myself and my team, we have our little sister, you know, some of the littles come over and we teach them marketing, right? We teach them Facebook marketing. We have them work on little projects for us. And they come after school, so they'll come at like 4 o'clock and they'll work with us till 7. And we give them tools and skill sets that they probably would have to pay for if they went to college. So we just really kind of help them out. We probably should market that on our Facebook page, but we don't. We just kind of did it because we love doing it. But that's kind of, you know, just one idea in terms of dealerships. Like if you're involved in Big Brother, Big Sister, any like, you know, abuse shelters, or you help with, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, or you help with like any community event. I agree with what Mabel was saying before. Yeah, definitely post it up. Because
hey, Dave.
Yes, sir. Sean.
Thank you. I wanted to talk about something real quick. We were going down that road, and then we got involved with Subaru Steve's question. But I wanted to talk about how important social branding is in today's market. Okay, now none of you guys even knew who I was 8 months ago. Okay, period. And until I got on Facebook, I never had a Facebook account. Now, obviously, I'm here on your show. So that's how important social branding and Facebook and social media in general are. Okay, there's one video is worth 1.8 million words. So if that's the case, then everything's going to go to video.
Right.
In fact, there's a stat that I did research on last week. 70% of all Google searches next year will be somebody clicking on a video. 74%. And if that's the case, then we all better get real familiar with social branding and video. We need to really get good at this because that's the future.
That's good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
let me ask Mabel. Let me ask you a question, just really, really quick, just because I think that this is, and I know we're running out of time here, but somebody put in a question, and this is sometimes because we have experts on the show, or people, and Sean, you're right. It wasn't long ago, but you are a quote unquote expert now because you've seen success and you have the ability and the desire and the heart to teach other people. That therefore makes you an expert. When somebody, my favorite quote is, "A leader without a follower is just taking a walk," which I guess the opposite of that is if you have people following you, you're leading. And so you're a leader. But we take for granted sometimes, I know I do, that there are people that literally go, I don't know how to even, I love your ideas. These are game changers on the show. Gail, I mean, you guys have been doing it for so long. You've been moving the needle. Amanda Martin, I'm not sure who Amanda is, but she asked this question, and I can sense in this question on Facebook, her truth, Mabel, is like, how do I do this? She said, how do you bring community events like this to your management as a way to market, but mainly do better? She's saying, I love it, right? I'm thinking that's what she's saying, but how do I go to my manager on it? So put yourself in someone's shoes that maybe is not noticed at her store, that's not recognized, but said, hey, I want to take this to my management. Do you have an idea on how to present something like this to your management?
Yeah, definitely. Self-branding is not the easiest. I am lucky that I have actually marketing and branding in my background.
Mm-hmm.
So to present something like that to management, you really just kind of have to walk in and say, look, there's this event. There's X amount of people that are going to be there. This is what's going to happen. And I think it's going to be an amazing event for us to partake in. Doesn't mean that we have to put 3-4 cars. We could just put one car. But I think this is going to be really good to do an outreach. And just kind of stand behind your words. When you do that, when you stand with confidence in front of management, when it comes to branding and it comes to events, they're going to see that. They're going to be like, all right, let's see what happens. Or maybe they'll have you do recon first, like go to that event first, see how many people are there, see if there's an ROI attached to it, and then come back with it. Rome wasn't built in a day, so you can't really expect results immediately. Self-branding is ever evolving. Everyone has a hashtag now. The majority of car sales people have their own page. I personally don't have my own page because I feel like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And right now, I'm not broken, so I'm not going to fix it. My Instagram is public, my Twitter is public, my LinkedIn's public. My Facebook isn't. You have to add me, and that's cool. If I see that you're you need assistance, I'm always there. There's a lot of people, especially women in the automotive world, that reach out to me on a daily basis, and I'm like, all right, this is how you're going to do things, and this is how you're going to present yourself. Because when you brand yourself, like I said before, not only are you branding yourself, but you're branding your store and the brand you're selling. So you really have to commit to it. You can't just say, I'm selling a Honda in the next few months, and then switch gears and be like, oh, I am a Kia girl now. I recently left a dealership and I had a lot of offers from off-brand, and I said, I can't. I'm sorry. I am committed to this brand. I've built my name prior to me even selling cars. So I was #1 Volvo girl before I got into car sales. And you have to stand by it. You have to really stick it through. And yeah, posting every day and being like all excited, it takes a lot out of you. But if you do it creatively and you add that human touch, you don't always have to post about cars. You don't always have to post about promotions or lease specials. You just could be real. People will see that and say, oh my God, I really think, Gail's pretty awesome. I mean, she went to this pet adoption thing, and look at her, she's having so much fun. I want to go see her at her store. Something like that, And people like that. I've had people follow me because they're like, we saw an article on you, or we follow you on LinkedIn. We want to see where you are. I'm like, okay, here I am. Do they buy a car? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, thank you, Mabel. And to all of our panelists today on the Automoto HR panel, we appreciate all of you being on. So many things came to light today. There was so much engagement in social media, and we appreciate it. So I want to thank each of you, and I know Dave here does as well.
Yeah, we do have somebody on. I think we had another caller come in, but we're gonna give you guys a chance to all give your closing remarks. But we do want to give. We have a caller on. Yes, okay, we have Cecil. Okay. Cecil from Subaru of Little Rock, Arkansas, is represented in the house, and Cecil with Subaru of Little Rock. Cecil, are you with us?
I'm here.
All right. So we got a fellow Arkansasian. I don't know. I don't know. Wait. All right, we got a fellow Arkansan. There you go. Thank you very much.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yes. Thank you for helping me there,
So,
Desiree. Desiree's on the phone.
I guess
Go ahead, Cecil.
I can touch on a couple of things. One with Subaru Steve coming from a Subaru store, and then also a question with her about going to management. So when I first took over, we didn't have a social media, we didn't have an internet director, we didn't have anything at our store. In the last 2 years, I've grown our store to be number one in probably the whole Midwest of closing ratio with Subaru.
Wow.
I've also gained on our Subaru page 6,000 followers and growing. I think we'll probably hit about 7 by the end of this year. And it's constant posting and informing customers. But to go to management, they're not going to listen to you. They're just going to ignore you because the first thing, when you start talking about spending money, they always get shut off, especially the general managers. So the first thing I started doing was doing everything for free. Or if I wanted to make an advertising, I spent it out of my pocket and then went back to them and showed them what kind of results I was getting. So 1 month I sold 25 Outbacks off of a campaign I did personally and distributed out to my internet guys. Now I have taken over marketing for both our Acura and our Subaru store, and I'm developing a marketing plan for our Honda store up in Jonesboro. So it's just, it's grown in 1 year, taking small things and making it big and then showing the results.
You know what I love about that? Thank you, Cecil, for calling in. What I love about the two, we learned a couple weeks ago, 682,000 Subarus, that's it, were sold in the entire year nationwide, and that's not a lot when you've got a nation of over 300 million, right? So I'll say this, Cecil, man, if the reason you got the attention of the Acura and the Honda and maybe even more is because you're doing it with Subaru. What a great attitude, man, to tackle that, because you're not only doing it, you're doing it with a make that you don't see as much as you see Nissan and Honda and Toyota and Hyundai and so forth. So, man, hats off to you, man, and great job with that. So,
and I'll give you a quick stat here. Our Subaru store actually beat the Honda store and Nissan store and GMC store right next to us.
Come on.
In new car sales.
There you go.
Come on, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Freaking everybody, Cecil goes out and his family reunion, all of them are driving Outbacks. They're all just driving Subarus. That's what I'm talking about, man. He's got his whole family, everybody, all his friends, everybody driving Outbacks, different colors. Good job, my friend. Good job, brother.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for calling.
So let's go around to the Automoto HR panel real quick and just get a 60-second closing comment with your contact information. Go ahead, Sean.
Guys, thanks for having me on. I want to say hello to all the salesmen, all the GMs out there, all the GSMs, everybody. I thank you for the following. I thank for everything you do. All I want you to know and take out of this is don't wait for people to train. Don't wait for business. Go get it. Go train yourself. Read, research, listen to YouTube, read books. Go out there and get your own business. Don't stand around and wait for the up bus. It does not exist anymore. We have to create our own brand. We have to go get our own business. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on my own YouTube, Sean Hayes, Your Car Guy. You also can get me on Instagram at Your Car Guy Sean. And Sales Hustlers, we started a group over there. You can always reach me over in the Sales Hustlers group. Unite and join the movement.
Come on, Sales Hustlers, man. Give that like button up for Sean. Thank you very much, Sean. Let's go to Gail T. Rubenstein. Gail, always great to have you on. It's been a little while, but you've been doing some great things. And I want to throw it to you and give us your closing remarks with regards to today's show, and then also let the listeners that aren't already following you know how they can find you.
Okay, so yeah, again, thank you so much for having me on the show. Also, I was on years ago with Grant Cardone. That was super fun.
Yeah.
So I guess my closing remarks is just, I've worked with general managers and dealer principals for the last 6 years. I worked with Cox Automotive, wonderful company. I helped, car dealers generate millions of dollars in sales and service. This isn't like something I just started. I've been doing it forever. And now that I'm on my own, I'm teaching them how to generate millions from social media. And it's possible. I took a leap of faith to open up my own business, but the only thing that'll stop me, stop you, stop a car dealer from being successful is fear. And it's fear of the unknown, fear of failure and fear of change, and that's it. Because the minute you get over that fear and just say, screw it, I'm going to try it, you'll see the success. It just happens. So don't let fear stop you is my motto in life. And I'm here to help any general managers, dealer principals, salespeople, anyone. You guys can follow me on Facebook under my name, Gail Rubenstein. You can look up www.sellandservicemorecars.com. I am #1 in SEO if you type in sell more cars. My website is pops up as #1.
Awesome.
So sellandservicemorecars.com.
Nice.
Great
Thank
to
you
have
very much, Gail.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
And Desiree, close us out.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Gail, you're inspirational. I'm just starting out on all this. Thank you for having me on here. Thank you very much. You can probably find me on my website. I have a DESIRELOVELL, desirelevel.com. And I would say be you, be authentic, try to be consistent, and help others. I don't think you'll ever lose by helping others. And if you get nervous, which I do all the time, if you get nervous, it's okay. A lot of times when you flip the camera to maybe your customer and try to see it from their eyes, it can help. You know, a lot of customers will surprise you. I have clients all the time that absolutely love being on camera. So anytime you can help someone else, I think you're always going to win.
Thank you. And by the way, did I butcher your name? I said Desiree. Is it Desire? It's Desire.
It's actually Desiree, but it's okay. It's desirelevel.com. That's what I go by. And I just want to make a correction. I am with McClarty Group now, so they hired me. So
Awesome.
I love Steve Landers, but I'm with McClarty now. Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much and for coming on and great job with what you're doing over there and representing that group in Arkansas. So thank you. So we're going to go to Mabel. Mabel with Volvo Cars, Glen Cove. Mabel, close us out. Give us your closing remarks. Let people know how they can follow you. Obviously, we know that you are so encouraging on social media, and you're everywhere. So, and you own Volvo, and so tell us, close us out.
I wish to own Volvo one day. No, really, just keep it real. You know, don't be afraid to think outside the box. You know, imitation is great because it's, imitation is the best form of flattery, but sometimes you need to do things a little bit different. And always, really what's the key thing to branding yourself properly is knowing your product. Product knowledge is going to give you that advantage above your peers. So know your product, know your competition's product. When you have a customer come in, you know it and you own it. A lot of people are just very content with knowing the basics and they don't overextend themselves to learn more. So definitely do that. And if you want to reach me, I am always available, anyone, for any sort of advice. So you could reach me via Facebook, Mabel Peralta. On Instagram, I am on as Bella Mabella, but you could look up my hashtag, which is #1VolvoGirl. And I'm on LinkedIn. And if you wanted to text me, I have my own cell phone, which is 516-21-VOLVO. That's how committed I am.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, if you ever leave Volvo, you're going to have to get a tattoo removed and change your cell phone number, but that's good. But,
it's not going to, I did Volvo since I was 4. I'm going to be 40 next year, so it's not happening.
Awesome. Well, hey, we believe that. We believe that. Thank you so much. What a great panel. You guys have been amazing. Make sure you follow our guest. And if you're not already, make sure you join Sean's group. What an incredible inspiration. I can tell you that he is on it every single day. So thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a great panel.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so hey, Cribs, we're going to wrap this up. I want to go ahead while we have you still listening, maybe some that are listening because of our guests today as well. Next week, you don't want to miss it. If you want the opportunity you've ever said, hey, I want to take what we've just talked about today and I want to present it to dealer principals so that we can start really seeing this industry not just shift but change. I'm talking not just like the Titanic, but like, on a dime turn.
Right.
We have U.S. Marine. It's not the military. We have U.S. Marine. He is a owner of Sutherland Nissan in Fort Pierce and Vero, as well as Orlando Nissan. It's part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. We went to high school together. Very cool cat. U.S. is extremely aggressive and cutting edge car guy. And you may know him, probably already follow him, but he's got a lot to say, and he is moving it here in Florida.
He graduated in 74.
No, 89. 89. He was a year ahead of me. He graduated in 89. I graduated in 90, but we went to high school together.
Sorry,
but he let me tell you something. U.S. is moving the needle, and he's doing it with Nissan, preferably right now. We have John Marazzi. John is the owner of Brandon Honda, moving upwards of close to 600 new and used a month, and also Sun Toyota.
Partner of Sun Toyota.
Yeah, and one of the things I'll say about John, he's no stranger to the show, but John's doing it. In Sun Toyota's right there, throw a rock, hit the #1 Hyundai store in the world, the #4 Kia store in the world, and that's where John's moving at Sun Toyota, close to 700 cars a month. So he's doing it there. And then at Brandon Honda, he's up against some extremely tough competitors like Kuhn Honda, and he's up against the #1 Ford store in the world, Brandon Honda. And so John's going to be on the show. We have Jesse Peterson with the ID Automotive Group, or ED Automotive Group, which are in the Dakotas. He runs several stores there. Bill Feinstein, the owner of Planet Honda, top 5 Honda store in the nation. And we have Jeff Daniels. Jeff is with the Toyota and Kia of Muncie up in Indiana, and Jeff is absolutely slaying it. And we have Amy Fiera. Amy was in the car business on the ground level at multiple stores, at multiple positions for close to 15 years, I believe. And for the last 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, she's been a partner. Her title is partner and senior acquisition manager at Asbury. So she hires and recruits
the talent.
Yeah, man, she's amazing. She's going to be on the show as well. So.
Awesome. Going to be a great show. Great opportunity to get your voice heard with actual dealer principals.
They're moving it.
Yes.
And if you're moving and shaking and you want to move, I'm sure they will always be looking for great talent.
Yes.
Next week's a show you want to make sure you check out.
Yeah, this show's put together a lot of job opportunities, by the way, for those of you who tune in and engage.
I want to hire everybody on the panel. I wish I could. Yeah, I wish. I mean, I'd just like, come on.
I know.
What a great panel, man. Hey, thank you, sir.
Yes.
We missed Tommy Elwell, who'll be back next week. He is moving it today. And I meant to say, Tommy did about $250,000 in business last month. Tommy did by himself. So what a great, Tommy Elwell is moving it. He had some things he had to get back today. So, hey, what a great show. Lou knocked it out of the park as always, my friend.
Yes, Lou, thank you.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next week right here, 3:30 Eastern, right here on Facebook. Make sure you check us out. See you then.